talking about the Super Bowl, Tay-Tay, Brittany Mahomes, and Colin Cowherd made a great point about how much time there's a lot being spent on these commercials.
Yes.
People going to be talking. There's whole shows dedicated to the ads. And our crack producers here, there's a 30-second Super Bowl ad for Dunkin' Donuts where Ben Affleck, he appeared as a Dunkin' Donut drive-through worker in a Super Bowl commercial last year. Y'all remember that?
Yep.
And they said they sold more donuts the next day than any day in their history. It had nothing to do with the football, had nothing to do with anything going on. This commercial, the president of Dunkin' Donuts said, we ran it once and got $7 billion media impressions. Wow. And it kickstarted the year. This was the 2023 Super Bowl ad, which was the company's first commercial to ever run during the Super Bowl. Ben Affleck was paid $10 million to appear in that ad. Larry David. Yeah. Bump, bump. Curb Your Enthusiasm. He received $10 million to appear in a 2022 Super Bowl ad for FTX, the $10 million deal that Ben Affleck and Larry David got. That's extreme, but it's not unusual. A lot of people get $1 million to appear in the ads, and the ads that they take out for the 30-second or the 60 second is like $5 to $10 million they pay just to get one commercial in the Super Bowl. And so I'm saying something right now because Usher's getting nothing. Gladys Knight got nothing to sing the national anthem. Mary J. Blige, Snoop, all of them, Eminem, they got zero to perform. So I feel like Roderick, something's here to explore because the amount of money that the NFL makes off of just the ads during the Super Bowl and the amount of money that definitely come on.
It's so interesting because like they basically treat the talent for the halftime like this is a big commercial for you, which is, I mean, and it's not untrue because, you know, if you look up the figures too, everybody's music hits #1 streaming, #1 sales. Beyonce announced her tour off of her. Because you know she played a game different. Okay, your girl came, she came ready with instructions like, it's not just an album. Everybody, go get your tickets ready. But I'm just saying like. So like they definitely finesse it. They could pay those acts because they obviously have the money. They could absolutely pay those acts, but they basically are like, come do an advertisement for your music. I think Usher actually is announcing a tour off of his or either another residency.
But let me just put it in perspective again. Ben Affleck got $10 million. Larry David $10 million to appear in a 60-second ad, one ad in a Super Bowl commercial. Usher's getting nothing. And there's a clip from Usher talking about the preparation for this. Smith, do you have that clip?
It definitely has been a challenge to squeeze 30 years into 13 minutes.
Yeah. But how did you approach that then? Picking the right songs, the choreography, the perfect set for 13 minutes.
You know, there's been these fantasy lists that have been going out and people trying to figure out what song I'm going to perform first, middle, last, who's going to come on the stage with me. Yeah. What I did is I was very mindful of my past, celebrating my present, which is here in Las Vegas, and thinking about where we're headed in the future. And that was really the idea. What songs do I feel people know me for? What songs have been a celebration of all of the journey of what life and love and emotion has been offered in my music?
Now, I'm looking forward to seeing the clips on Twitter because I will not be watching, but as I was reading the juxtaposition of how much people are paid to appear in these commercials versus how much the artists are getting paid, and I think about Janet Jackson almost losing her career on that stage with Justin Timberlake and didn't get a dime, but also was canceled and banned from a lot of things after that. That man pulled way more material than he was supposed to off of her breast. But I think about Usher and all of the amount of time he's putting into this. And yes, he will have but it reminds me again of this conversation we're having about Monique. There's an expectation once again, and it's black people now. Thank you, Jay-Z, for bringing in the enslaved people to work for free and work their asses off. They will, for nothing.
Yeah.
There's an expectation that somehow you should just be grateful to be here.
Yeah, I think so it's interesting because it is kind of like if they had Monique's husband as their manager, they wouldn't be doing the Super Bowl because he wouldn't allow that. But at the same time, like we've now made this thing like it is now a pedestal and an achievement to your career to be one of the handful of people that will ever be selected to perform at the Super Bowl halftime. Is such a big pedestal. It's like I don't know if people get paid to perform at the Grammys, but it's like, well, even if you don't get paid, you need to do that because it's more about promoting you. And so, yeah, it's definitely like that weird area of like, I am getting something out of it. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's no reason you couldn't write me a nice check too.
Right. Especially if you have, that's kind of been a tight walk for those of us who are in these entertainment spaces. I remember having a conversation with a young person who wanted to break in and they wanted to get paid, like I set them up with somebody and they asked for way more because they felt they were valued and they never got another opportunity.
Right.
So there's so many, there's such a tightrope. I've done a lot of things for nothing. So have you. Yeah. For the opportunity. For me, I'm like, is it a learning experience? Does it put me closer to my goals? Like, and in the case of Monique, she had already done everything she was contracted to do. If she was going to get that Oscar, she was going to get that Oscar.
Right.
She didn't do it and she still got the Oscar. So why y'all still talking bad about it? She got the Oscar. Yeah. The thing y'all wanted her to get was the Oscar. She got it. And she didn't have to do any of that. And a lot of times they'll tell you, but it's deals that they made. On your behalf, but they don't even. So this is it's a communication thing. If you made a deal and this is something you need me to do for you, just tell me. I'm gonna do that for you. But don't play games in my face like I'm supposed to do this. Like say, listen, I made a commitment to Can, and I really need you to do this for me.
Right.
But I'm also looking at the billionaire saying, okay, you can't write me.
Yeah, then write the check. I mean, I get, like I said, at least when I heard it, and like we'll probably never hear their version of it. But my guess is on the low, they will, and they don't want to say it because it sounds ugly. My guess is that they're like, I'll never work with her again because she pulled that. And it's not whether she was right or wrong, but she pulled that on me. And I don't like her and I don't want to work with her anymore. And I'm not saying that's right, but it's a human emotion everyone can relate to. Of like, oh, okay, I can see why you mad. You think maybe think she wouldn't have put it on somebody else. Maybe like whatever.
Well, she's been consistent. I mean,
right, but they're not presenting the human side of it,
right?
For us to even give them some level of empathy. It's hard to have empathy for a person that won't even say like what happened. Because like I said, when you were like, I just don't like her. I can relate to that. I don't need you. You don't got to draw out like some large argument to try to convince me. Sometimes it's as simple as I just don't like that person. And if, like I said, I can totally understand if your side of something is like, man, she rubbed me the wrong way. I just didn't like the way she got down. And I said, I thought we was good. Then I changed my mind. Just say that. What's the problem? She already saying everything. So just say that if that's the thing.
And keep it pushing.
Yeah. As for the Super Bowl, the big difference is these people made it to the pinnacle of their careers. So like you starting out being like, I want the Usher treatment. Okay, you'll never work in this town again. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you Usher can't get the Usher treatment. He Usher.
Right. Come on.